second scene.
Cool. What's the book? Out of interest.
It's Sweet Thursday by John Steinbeck.
Oh, very nice. I read Of Mice and Men when I was young. Right. Yeah, page 273. Okay.
We only got 100 and... So that would be the last
page 90. Page 90.
There's a 273.
Yeah.
What page did you say?
That was, I think, the initial number.
Ah, okay. So where on the page are we going? It's over here.
Let's go for that middle paragraph, the first sentence of the middle paragraph.
The old car deliberately climbed the curb.
Old car deliberately climbed the curb.
Climbed the curb. Ripped off the stairs of Western Biological.
Okay, you don't need more. Or can you just repeat it?
The old car deliberately clambered.
Clambered.
What does that mean?
Clambered, to go upwards. Yeah.
Yeah, clambered the curb.
Oh, I see. Yeah, went up onto the curb.
Ripped off the stairs of Western Biological.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm happy with that. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So I finally got the car to a halt. Dear Betty, I've been trusting you for so many years to get up that hill. I think we hit something. The steering isn't as good as it used to be. Will this be the end? I'm afraid if I get out of you, I'll have to call a tow truck to remove you. Or maybe you're okay. I'm just afraid. Well, I better pull the brake.
Hey, you can't park here. What are you doing?
What? This might be the final resting place for old Betty, my car.
Can't just leave your car here. I can see the smoke coming. It looks like you've done this deliberately. What are you doing? You should take it somewhere else.
Can I borrow a phone? I think you have a phone in the house, haven't you? I think I need a tow truck.
I think you've done this deliberately. I think you've just come here to piss me off.
Why would I come here to piss you off? Well, I'm sorry to have pissed you off. And I'm sorry that old Betty is not going to get me home.
Old Betsy looks like a pile of trash to me. Why do you care about old Betsy so much anyway?
I've had it for 20 years. And she has served me well. Well, maybe I should have taken better care of her. That's too late now, isn't it?
All right, I'll go fetch my phone. I'll go fetch the phone.
You seem quite upset. Thoughtful. This neighborhood is old. A lot of old houses. And he called my car for a piece of trash. These houses are a bit trashy. Why do you think I did this deliberately, to piss him off? That's strange. But well, it seemed helpful enough.
I've got the phone. I suppose you can make a call. What was your name anyway?
It's Oliver Hampton.
Oliver. Okay. I suppose it's nice to meet you, Oliver. Yeah.
And your name is?
Tom. Yeah. You can just call
Tom.
me Tom. Hey, maybe I snapped at you at first. Yeah. People have been messing around with these houses. We don't take care of this neighborhood. And I thought you were just going to abandon your car here.
Oh no. I think I'm trying to find a replacement engine. I mean,
Okay.
these Morris Minors, they're still fantastic. It's antique, you know.
Oh, when you say antique, sure. I mean, you've had it for 20 years, but you must have bought it secondhand.
Yeah, I did. Well, actually, I inherited from my grandparents.
Oh, okay.
I'll just make that phone call. Just a moment.
All right. Maybe this car's not as bad as I thought. Maybe I always get angry with people. People just come here, they mess up the neighborhood. Maybe I'm just lonely all on my own here in my house. And I always think the worst of people. I always think people are doing stuff deliberately to mess me up. And this guy cares so much about his car. Oliver cares so much about Betsy. Can't imagine someone caring about something so much. Look after something for 20 years. I don't even look after myself. Maybe this place has just got me down somehow. Maybe.
Oh, thank you for the phone.
Oh, okay, sure, no problem, Oliver.
I think they'll be here in half an hour, they said, but you never know.
Hey, do you want to come in and have a tea?
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. All right, here we are. Let me just put the kettle on.
Yeah. So this is a really old house.
It is. It's the wood's peeling and should have been repainted a few years ago, I suppose. But the cooker just about works.
Oh, yeah. You've been living here for some years, haven't you?
20 years, yeah.
20 years.
I know, it's a place I call home, I suppose. It's a bit cold in winter, but.
Yeah, I mean, the heating systems in modern houses nowadays are quite comfortable. But it's like they have no soul. It's like new cars. They have no soul, no personality.
This place has got personality, all right. If you call the quirks personality. But you know, I was really inspired, Oliver, by your story about your car, how much you cared for it. You know, I don't think I care enough about things.
Well, it's things that you're used to and you appreciate. I mean, if the cooker always works, we don't appreciate it.
Sure. Oh, the water's ready now.
Oh,
Do you want milk in your tea?
yeah, a bit. Yeah. And sugar?
Yeah, I've got some sugar here. Yeah. Oh, 1 or 2?
2, thanks.
There you are, Oliver.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I've thought a lot about what we appreciate and what we take for granted.
What do you mean, Oliver?
Well, things like cars or people.
Yeah.
We take some people for granted and don't tell them until they're gone.
Yeah. I used to have friends, Oliver, but I took them for granted and now they've gone.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Now always so suspicious of everyone who comes here. I always think they're up to no good, but there's something about you. You were different.
Thanks. That's different how? Well, it can be difficult to point out.
Yeah, you showed care. You know, that's rare. People just don't seem to care about anything these days. You think they'd care about themselves, but I don't think they even care about that. They just care about nothing. They just don't give a crap.
Oh, sometimes life is too hectic and everything goes so fast that
Yeah. You take things for granted and it just disappears, just flashes before you, and you don't realize what you have, and then it's gone, and then you're in a 20-year-old house with the leaking pipes and start to wonder if you make the right life choices, and then you start getting frustrated, and then you start shouting at everyone who parks outside your house. You always think everything's for the worst, but maybe.
well, I'm going to try to fix Betsy by a replacement engine. But sometimes, eventually, Betsy will not pass the legal test. So I'll have to replace her. That's part of life. Sometimes maybe it's time to leave, move out of this house. Where would you go? Where dreams are so interesting because we have them, but we don't act.
I used to dream that I'd go to New Zealand. Oh my God.
I used to dream.
The dreams we have when we're young.
I used to dream to have a Triumph Spider.
Oh yeah.
You know, one of these small red cars without roof.
Would have been so cool in that one. Your hair in the wind.
Yeah. But then I was stuck with Betsy,
Yeah.
and she
And then-
served me well.
It's a good attitude to have, you know. Yeah, you've got to be thankful for what you've got, not always upset at the things you don't have.
Mm. That's a nice view out of your window from here.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a lot of historical buildings.
Yeah.
Well,
When they built that church over there, it's one of the most beautiful churches in the town, in my opinion. They spent so much effort building that church, but it closed down 5 years ago. And
yeah. No.
you know, it's easy to say, you know, that you'll leave this place, right? It's easy to say that, just as, you know, you might have to give up on Betsy one day. But you also said you'd replace its engine. You said that maybe it's an attitude, right? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the issue is that this part of the city doesn't do well because everyone is just, they don't care about it. They, as you said, they're just, this place used to be great. It used to be like a Triumph sports car. But now it's old and rusty.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you can still see some of the buildings have mosaics and good quality roofs, red stones. I mean, when they were built 100 years ago, they used the best materials.
It did. You know, this place is starting to become cool. You know, I see these hipsters come here occasionally.
Oh,
Take their photos for Instagram. They like the alleyways. They like the old buildings.
but they leave in the evening. It's
You know,
not hip.
some have started to stay here.
Oh.
Not everyone's happy about it. You know, people are worried they'll put up the rents. People are not sure it's a good thing, but there was a new cafe opening by the corner. I had a coffee there. It was okay.
Yeah, but quite expensive coffee, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, times are changing, and well, at one point you'd think, oh, they need some people who have a bunch of money who can renovate a house like this. But on the other hand, we don't have that kind of money ourselves, do we? I don't have money enough to do a total renovation of Betsy.
You're right. It's easy to be optimistic, but sometimes you have to face the reality that things won't be fixed. Things won't be perfect.
No.
But you know, this conversation today has it's been good. This is the best conversation I've had for a long time. It's really meant something to me, Oliver. It really has.
Well, thanks, and thanks for the tea. Thanks
Yeah,
for the hospitality.
I think I just heard the van outside. I think the tow
Yeah,
truck.
I think I can see it down there. I'll go down. Thank you very much for tea and the good talk.
And all the best for Betsy.
Yeah,
You'll fix
thanks.
her up and she'll do great.
I will. And scene.
That looks quite good.
Yeah, interesting.
It's different to the first one for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. And also this is two different characters who don't know each other, but
Yeah,
meet over a theme.
yeah. I think I've sometimes been warned in improv to not do characters who don't know each other. But I don't know. It was fun to play it, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's
If you have rules in improv, it doesn't always work.
yeah, rules are for beginners. They also said don't ask questions, but
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I quite
yeah.
like questions in improv, actually. Maybe that's just me. Questions
well,
are quite cool.
it's if you're unsecure, you use the questions to put the decisions over on your scene partner.
Yeah. Do you think I asked too many questions? I
Oh,
asked you a few.
no. But I noticed that if I'm a bit low energy, I did do that at some point
Okay, yeah.
in some situations. And
Sometimes I wanted like more information, like why you care about something. I think that's always nice to hear. And I think you provided that. That was cool.
yeah, I think I thought about inventing a background story, but I didn't find one.
No, sometimes simpler is better, like the fact that you inherited. I could have gone more down the grandparents route. I thought about the grandparents. I could have asked you about the grandparents, like did they pass away, etc. I could have gone that way.
Yeah.
I know it didn't. That's improv. You never know which way a scene will go.
Oh yeah, and it's also, well, I did mention, some people leave before you can tell them you appreciated them, and that could have been a total full background story in itself, but we did not go down there. But it's still like small breaks that paints the character.
Yeah.
It is.
Very good. Well, thank you, Christian. I had fun today.
So did I. I'll close the recording.
Yeah, I'll be interested